Welcome to this week's Forge tutorial. This week we'll be showing you how to make paper rockets and a launcher to send them flying. For this project you'll need a 2-liter bottle, a PVC elbow bend, 90-degree bend, 2 lengths of PVC pipe that are 1/2 inch in diameter and about 2 feet long, some tape, I'm using some electrical tape but really any will do, a piece of wood to hold your launcher upright and serve as the base, and I'm using a paint stirrer but really any piece of wood is fine. For the rocket you'll need some paper, some cardstock, and some masking tape, and that's about it. A pair of scissors also comes in handy. We'll start by building the launcher. So the first thing you need to do is take your 2-liter bottle and insert one of the lengths of PVC pipe into the bottle. Now tape this off, make sure that that seal where the pipe is inserted into the bottle is nice and tight so that air will not escape here. Once you're satisfied with that seal, move on and attach the 90-degree elbow to the end of the PVC pipe. This will redirect the air upward, and then insert the other PVC pipe into the other end of the elbow bend. Your launcher's almost done. The last step for your launcher is to stand it upright and attach it to your base piece. In my case, this paint stirrer, but really whatever piece of wood you have laying around or a textbook or something like that will work just as well. Now we're ready to move on to making our first rocket. So we're going to take a piece of paper and wrap it around the upright tube of our rocket launcher. We want to make sure that this is pretty tight, but not too tight, because if it's too tight, it won't launch correctly. Once you've wrapped it up, keep that tube form in place by putting a couple of pieces of tape on here. We'll add a lot more tape in a second. After your piece is taped up, you can slide it up the tube and press the sides of the top down and in so that we form a type of cap. This will capture the air that comes up through the rocket launcher, pushing it back down and actually giving us lift for our rocket. Then tape that cap on with a few pieces of tape and make sure that it is nice and secure and there's no air leaking out of the tape or a rip in the paper. We have the general form of our rocket now, but we're going to add more tape to make sure that the air pressure of the launcher doesn't blow out the sides of our rocket. So we're just going to take our masking tape and run it all the way down in layers overlapping each other until we cover the entire rocket body. An alternative to wrapping it vertically is to remove that piece from the launcher entirely and then wrap this up on a table. It gives you a little bit more control as you roll it up. The rest of the procedure is essentially the same, so you'll pull that off the edge and make your cap again. Tape up this cap again so that air can't escape or blow out the cap, and then wrap masking tape around the entire body of the rocket just like we did before until you have your completed rocket. Our rocket is almost ready to fly, but it wouldn't be complete without a few fins. So we're going to take our cardstock and cut out 3 or 4 fins and attach these to our rocket body. To make it easier to attach these, you can fold a little tab on each fin, and that gives you more surface area to actually tape to the rocket itself. Go ahead and repeat this process until you have all 3 or 4 fins taped onto the body of your rocket. You can then add more tape over the fins to make them a little bit more robust and handle a little bit more damage as you launch this thing over and over again. Put your rocket on the launcher and give the 2-liter bottle a stomp. I recommend testing this outside because these rockets can really get some altitude. Now experiment with adding nose cones and more fins, and as always, have fun and keep making.